Good morning, everybody. Dr. Anita here from Mylan Family Chiropractic Center. You were riding in the car with the chiro, but today we are not riding in the car with the chiro. We're riding out the snowstorm in my house. Obviously, I'm not riding it out in the car because it's a sheet of ice on all of the roadways, and I am not taking that risk factor to ride in the car. So, hey, Kath. So what I wanted to share with you today is because of this ice storm, I caught a glimpse a little bit of the news about what's going on in Texas and all the freezing weather that's going on and the loss of electricity. And the light bulb went off for me to talk to you today about the effects of electrical activity in our body and how that affects everything, right? Because the electricity down in Texas is having a huge effect all over the state because almost everything is being controlled by the electric system. And with the electric system being down because of the ice, pipes are freezing, people are without heat, they're without running water, the water systems are down, the stores are closed, your phone can't get charged, so you can't communicate with people unless you have external chargers that were already charged before this incident happened. Heat. You can't cook your food. I mean, there's so many ramifications as a result of the electric system being down. So how does that correlate to chiropractic? Well, this is brilliant, right? Your brain and nervous system control every function in your body. So it technically is your electrical system to your entire body. So when your brain and nervous system are not able to communicate with your body parts, those body parts are not going to work the way they're designed to. And if they don't work the way they're designed to, you're going to have dysfunction or dis-ease, as we like to call it. And what does that look like in the body as compared to what a loss of electrical potential and electrical activity looks like in a flooded, freezing situation? Flooding. So in the nervous system, it can be an overreaction or an underreaction. Examples. Overreaction is where you've got tons of allergic responses. You're having allergies. That is an overactive response in your normal immune system. Okay? There are triggers that happen as a result of that overactive response, but the truth is that the response is regulated by that electrical system, also known as our nervous system. We also have the underactive response. Example, especially in women, if the nervous system is challenged enough, specifically in the neck area, what happens is those nerves that control the thyroid gland don't work the way they're supposed to, and we can have what's called an underactive thyroid. And what I found clinically in my practice, 95+% of women who come in on some form of thyroid medication, they all have a problem in their neck. It's no coincidence. Hey, Ange, it is no coincidence that the spine in that particular area is affecting the thyroid gland. Hey, Sharon, welcome. And when that spine is out of alignment, that nervous system is interfered with, the brain and the body part are not communicating the way they're designed to. Hey, Aunt Laura. And what happens is those body parts actually start to break down, not functioning the way they're supposed to. And so you get a hypoactive thyroid where you need thyroid medication to get that thyroid to do what it's designed to do because it's part of the endocrine system. And with us women, we've got all kinds of hormonal things affecting our endocrine system. And the last thing we need is more hormonal issues as ladies, right? So when that happens, the medical profession adds a drug therapy to get that thyroid to actually start to do some of the things that it's designed to do. The problem with that approach is, welcome Marissa, the problem with that approach is once you start putting in a drug therapy to replace hormones that are supposed to naturally be produced in the body starts to say, well, wait a minute. If you already have that being produced, why do I need to do it anymore? And the thyroid gland actually stops working the way it's designed to. And you become chemically dependent upon that drug therapy, right? There's a very short window of opportunity that I have as a chiropractor and that you have as a patient in a chiropractor's office to be able to possibly stop having to take a thyroid medication. It's a very, very short window because thyroid medications are extremely strong. And when they overtake the body's ability to produce its own hormone, what happens is the body just shuts down and that's it. And it becomes chemically dependent. This is why when people become adult onset diabetics or type 2 diabetics, their insulin levels aren't working right because their body's not processing the sugars right for a multitude of reasons. And we don't have enough time to talk about all those reasons that adult onset diabetes happens other than, let's just say, diet, right? If you become dependent upon the chemistry externally, the external chemistry to get your body to work the way it's designed to, the body will never do what it's designed to. So you have to do some things in order to change how the body adapts. While in adult onset diabetes or type 2 diabetes, changing your dietary regimen and adding exercise with the accomplishment of weight loss is going to help you do that. You also have to manage the fact that the brain and the nervous system are not communicating correctly with that body part called the pancreas. And you may always be having a tendency towards a type 2 diabetes. But I'm here to tell you as a chiropractor, we have incredible success with changing type 2 diabetes merely by correcting the interference between the brain and the body so the body can go back to working the way it's designed to, along with diet and exercise, in particular with type 2 diabetes, right? The same thing goes on with ladies when we talk about, good morning, Bridget, when we talk about women going through menopause or perimenopause, and they're having all these wonderful hot flashes. I've been loving the experience, not, right? Because it happens at the worst times. And, you know, my office manager, I'll be talking to her and all of a sudden my face goes red and she goes, are you okay? I'm completely okay. My body's on fire, but I'm completely okay. And this too shall pass. I've been very fortunate. I'm under regular chiropractic care. I've been under regular chiropractic care for more than half of my life. So those temporary hot flashes happen literally in 30 seconds and they come and they fade away. So it's not a big to-do. They suck in the summertime, I'll be honest with you. But in the wintertime, it's not really that big of a deal. I kind of just open the door for a second and I'm cooled off and I'm good. And I go back to doing whatever I do. It doesn't really affect me whatsoever. But for the women that come into my practice where it is affecting them massively, there is a hormonal imbalance as a result of the nervous system not working correctly. The electrical system, just like our friends and family in Texas, the electrical system is shut down. And when that electrical system is shut down, there is nothing that works off that electrical system. Well, the same thing happens in our body because if our electrical system, our nervous system, is shut down or cut off or there's static on the communication line, like kind of when you're driving down the road on the cell phone. Of course, we're not doing that because we're using the speaker. But when we're driving down the road on the cell phone and the message kind of breaks up, we hit a bad cell area. Well, that's what happens in our spine and nervous system when that spine is shifted out of place. And that brain and that body part is not able to talk completely, so it gets interrupted messages. And that result of those interrupted messages causes our body to break down in some way, shape, or form. That can be through pain. That can be through fatigue. That can be through loss of general energy. That can be through symptomatology related to our hormonal systems, as an example. But the good news is with chiropractic, we can find out why that's actually happening. Where is that interruption in that electrical system, that nervous system? And if it's not too far along and it's actually correctable, the good news is we can get in there and correct your spine and nervous system, restoring that electrical system back to where it's going to be, where it's supposed to be, and your body will resume working exactly the way it did before that breakdown occurred, even if that breakdown happened over time. Just like in Texas, right now they got to figure out what the heck happened in this breakdown of the electrical system. It's massive. Where did they go wrong? And if they can go back to the source of where they went wrong and actually fix the source of it, correct it so that it no longer happens again, the electrical system will come alive again and people's electricity will be restored. And God willing, they'll be able to recover all the damages that have occurred. I've had colleagues in Texas where their pipes have burst because of no heat, and the pipes have burst and there's flooding in their x-ray x-ray rooms, there's flooding all over their adjustment tables. So not only is their home without electric, but their offices are without electric. And even when the electric comes back on, they're not going to be able to serve their folks because the damage that was done in their office system, they have to get that fixed. And you can't fix anything because the contractor can't come in unless there's electricity in there for them to cut the sheetrock and use their drills and all of that good stuff, because they need electric to be able to do that. They need heat to fix the plumbing, because you can't go and fix the plumbing and have it continue to be frozen. So all these issues happening as a result of a failure in the electrical system, just like the human body. So if the human body has a failure in the electrical system, also known as our nervous system, the body's not going to work right. So if you are not under regular chiropractic care in my office, because you don't live here, Aunt Laura, you don't live here, so I know I can't take care of you, right? But if you are not under regular chiropractic care, your nervous system is not being managed. And if your nervous system is not being managed, there is a good probability that your nervous system is going to fail you in some way, shape, or form. And that failure can present itself in many ways. It doesn't matter what way it fails. The fact is it will fail if it's not performing at 100%. Somebody needs to check on that electrical system. Just like in Texas, where they weren't checking on that electrical system. They were just taking everybody's money when they paid their electric bill, and nobody was doing any maintenance. Maintenance. We all get I know I need a haircut. We all get our hair cut to maintain our looks, right? Well, it also maintains the health of our hair. If you talk to any hairstylists, they're going to tell you that getting your hair cut is part of maintaining the health and well-being of your hair. We take more care of our hair than we do of our spine and nervous system, which is the lifeline to our entire body. It's so important. It's more important than our hair. I know the hairstylist is going to be like, well, I don't know. I appreciate that. We should look good. But the reality is our lifeline is our spine and nervous system. And everybody needs to have their spine and nervous system checked on a regular basis if you want it to work at its very best. I don't care what you're going through, because when your spine and nervous system is failing you, the body will break down. And when the body breaks down, those cells start to distort. And we get enough distorted cells in our body, we get sickness and disease. And that can come in a multitude of ways. I just gave you a couple examples of that right there earlier. If I'm not in your neck of the woods, please message me. I will find you an amazing, wonderful, gifted, talented chiropractor to make sure that you and your family's spine and nervous system, electrical system, is working at its very best so that you can be at your very best from a health perspective. And when you're at your very best from a health perspective, mentally and emotionally, you are going to be your true self. And that is who you are destined to be, so that you can be all you were designed to be. So you've been riding out this winter storm. It is an ice storm right now here, so I haven't left the house yet, and I don't think I'm going to today because it's going to turn to snow. You've been riding out this ice storm with Dr. Anita at Mylon Family Chiropractic. I look forward to seeing you riding in my car with the chiro next week. You have a safe Thursday, a fantastic week, and please, if you don't have to drive and you're in New Jersey, do not get out of your house. There's no reason to leave your home. Be safe. Make some really fantastic, healthful meals. Enjoy. Read some books. Listen to some podcasts that are going to influence you in a positive way. And get on the phone if you haven't been in my office. Call me. I'd love to make sure you and your family are expressing their fullest electrical potential via their nervous system through chiropractic. Have a fantastic week. See you on the next ride. Love you, Aunt Laura. Bye.